welcome to the 23rd episode of Dear Michelle Obama, the podcast, aka Dear Michelle. I am your host, Anonymous. In the last episode, titled I Wrestle with Monsters, I discussed how a confrontation with Black Shrek leads to a startling revelation. In this episode, titled The Devil's Secret, a secret Junior Satan keeps nearly cost me my life. A few quick administrative notes. This episode does not contain either the intro letter or the exit note to Michelle Obama. Please be advised that this episode describes instances of violence some may find highly offensive. Also, tones are used to bleep out language some may find offensive. Please use caution should you choose to listen. Here, take a listen. Days later, I feel as if I just touched the sky. I can walk through the castle and not feel afraid that I'm going to be potato sacked and shoved into a locker. On this day, I feel so confident and comfortable, I ask my teacher to be excused because I have a sudden urge to use the restroom. There are several restrooms in the castle. I have a favorite. I decide to walk to that one, but to get there, I must pass through Cafe A. I stop dead in my tracks. The sudden urge to urinate is gone. Walking towards me is Junior Satan. I sense fear, and then it dissipates. It is then that I notice that he looks different. In fact, he looks like I look after he beats me. His face is covered in bruises. He's holding his side. He limps as he walks. I ask why he's at the school. Technically, Junior Satan graduated a year ago. He should have graduated years earlier. He was injured as a child, and that injury causes him to miss a lot of school. The boyfriend I think is 2 years older than me is actually 4. Anyway, I ask what he's doing at the school. He explains that he was at the mall over the weekend and got beat up by a group of boys. Karma, meet Junior Satan. Junior Satan, meet my dear friend Karma. I am still confused by his presence. He tells me he has come to the school in search of the boys who beat him up. I ask how he knows the boys attend the castle. He says that he knows that they attend because they wear jackets bearing the castle's colors and name. He says that they were big and look like they play football or basketball. I ask what he plans to do if he finds them since he's alone. Junior Satan opens the jacket he wears. The color drains from my face. Stuffed inside his jacket is a gun. In that moment, I know that if I don't do something, and quick, this situation is going to end very, very badly. It's 1984, 15 years before Columbine, 15 years before America publicly mourned school shootings. Only Columbine is a predominantly white school with a white shooter, and white shooters, irrespective of the situation, are dealt with far more compassion and sympathy than black shooters. This will end badly, not just for Junior Satan and the castle and my classmates, but for me too. Quick on my feet and calm in the face of chaos, I convince Junior Satan to go home. I tell him that he can get into a lot of trouble if he gets recognized. I tell him that I will find out who's responsible and report back to him as soon as I can. I encourage him to go home to tend to his wounds. It is not missed by me that the first time Junior Satan is beaten, his reaction is to grab a gun, an option never available to me when he is the one who strikes blows. I walk with him through the atrium and watch as he limps down the street headed home. I run towards Cafe B. I know exactly who is responsible for Junior Satan's injuries. I knew it as soon as I saw Junior Satan and heard him say that the people who beat him wore the castle's colors on their jackets. Earlier that morning in homeroom, Black Shrek repeats the same story over and over and over again as if the story has Tourette's. The story Black Shrek tells is about how he and the other human jockstraps went to the mall and beat up a boy. There's nothing unusual about this story. It's the same story they tell every Monday. What's unusual about this story is the number of times he tells it and how loud he is when he does. It's as if he wants someone in the room to hear the details. Details he shares so many times, I memorize them. I stand before Black Shrek and ask if we can speak in private. He laughs, surrounded by the human jockstraps, and denies my request for privacy. I ask him if it was my boyfriend he beat up over the weekend. He smiles, his arrogance palatable. He admits that he beat up Junior Satan. I am mortified. I ask why, and what he says both stuns and embarrasses me. Black Shrek says he deserved it. You think that no one knows that he beat you, that your body is not covered in bruises. But we knew, so we did something about it. I tell him to shut up. I tell him that no one asked him to fight my battles. Anyway, I tell him that this could have ended badly because Junior Satan has just left the school. I tell him that Junior Satan came to look for he and his idiot friends. Black Shrek shrugs. I tell him that Junior Satan brought a gun. He shrugs again and says, "So?" He tells me that he's not afraid. I mumble beneath my breath about the arrogance of youth as I turn, prepared to walk away. Black Shrek says, "He deserves it for disrespecting you in front of that girl." I pirouette back to face him. "Girl?" I question. "What girl?" Black Shrek laughs. He knows he's won. He tells me that Junior Satan has a girlfriend, one that he's been dating for years. Black Shrek informs me that the only person who doesn't know about Junior Satan's girlfriend is me. I am rage drunk with unfathomable amounts of anger. I tell Black Shrek I am leaving school to confront Junior Satan. He tells me that he's coming with me. I say, "I don't need your company." I tell him that I can handle this on my own and that he needs to stay out of my business. I pivot back and walk away. 20 minutes later, I arrive at Junior Satan's house and ring the doorbell. He doesn't answer. I ring it again and again and again. Finally, the door opens. Standing behind the door is a girl. She's tall, dark, voluptuous, and newborn naked. I guess he found a way to treat his injuries after all. I step inside the house. She closes the door. There's a blanket at her feet. She scrambles to wrap around her. I tell her not to bother to cover up, that I won't be here long, but that I need to speak with Junior Satan in private. She says that the matter concerns her too. I tell Naked Nellie to leave, to take she and her donkey booty and her nakedness upstairs. I say that if I have to tell her one more again, which is Ebonics for if I have to tell her once again, she will not like what comes next. Junior Satan advises her to go upstairs. He knows what I know, that this will not end well for her. She disappears up the stairs. I ask him why he beat and tortured me the entirety of our relationship if the whole time he had another girlfriend. I ask him why he's so jealous of the attention other boys give me or that I give to them, if he was never serious about me, about us. I ask why he couldn't just be honest, why he had to hurt me when all I tried to do was love him. I tell him that I needed him, that I needed love. Naked Nellie has made her way back down the stairs. She interrupts to interject that Junior Satan told her that the reason he can't love me is because my family is poor. I point a single finger at her as if to say, "Girl, if you don't get your tired behind up those stairs." Naked Nellie drops her head, and she and her big old donkey booty again disappear. I turn again to face Junior Satan. I ask if what she said is true. He laughs. "Poor? Poor," I say. "You don't love me because my family is poor? And what? What do you have? Please explain this to me, because I have been in houses 10 times the size of this one. Leave it to broke to believe that their dilapidated house in the hood is even remotely comparable to the estates that white boys live in. What do you have?" I ask. What do you have? Drug money from the poison you shoved into the veins of your people? And I'm no better. I don't get to talk because I stood by you and supported that foolishness, if only because I didn't leave you. But that is over now. The tears, the begging you to love me, the beatings, it is all over. I'm done with you. I will never love you or anyone like you ever again. You are selfish and ungrateful. And you do realize that the only reason you graduated is because I tutored you, right? Good luck getting through the rest of your life with Naked Nellie. I'm out. I stand to leave. Junior Satan grabs my arm. As I try to pull away, he tightens his grip and calls me. I say, "What did you just say?" He repeats what he just said. My eyes widen as I draw back a slap from the east side of hell. It lands squarely on the side of his face. "That," I say. I tell him that we are done, that he will never see me again, that he will never beat me again. I tell him that, in fact, he just messed it up for any other man who even thinks about putting his hands on me, because I will biblically smote the next man who even thinks about doing it, and laugh out loud when his mama cries at his funeral. I get up and walk towards the door. Naked Nellie reappears once again on the landing. I tell her she can have his dusty behind because I'm out. This meeting is over. Junior Satan cries. He tells me that if I leave him, he will commit suicide. I have tremendous sympathy for people with mental health issues. Junior Satan is an emotionally manipulative liar. I say good. One less the world has to deal with. You may think I'm a horrible person for saying this to him. I'm not. He doesn't truly wish to end his life. He wants me to feel sorry for him and cave in, to give him whatever it is he's begging for. When he realizes that I'm not buying it, his energy shifts. His tears suddenly stop. True to form, he says, "I'ma kill you." He says it as casually as if telling me that the sun is yellow. I watch as he scrambles to retrieve his gun from his jacket pocket. I watch as he struggles to put on his pants. I decide that if today is the day I'm going to die, then today is the day I'm going to die. But at least it will not be at the hands of either of my crazy parents. I will not die trapped in an attic by a lunatic with a shotgun. And if this shoots me in the next 5 minutes, and he probably will, then for 5 beautiful and glorious minutes, even if no one else knows, I know that I did not die his abused girlfriend. I have finally found the courage to untether myself from him once and for all. Following my confrontation with my mama, this is the second most powerful thing I have ever done in my life. Because right here, right now, in this moment, I feel something I have not felt since I was 6 years old. For the first time in a long, long time, again faced with the possibility of my life coming to an end, I'm free. Hello, and thank you for listening to the award-winning Dear Michelle Obama, the podcast, aka Dear Michelle. If you like what you heard, like, subscribe, and share. If you wish to contact me, email me at dearmichelle@yahoo.com or tweet me at dearmichelle4. Join me next time for episode 24 titled Shrek v. Satan, where I discuss the fateful confrontation between the two. Until next time, bye-bye!